This is a watch costing 50 million rupees. Anyone owning it could do anything he wants, even chasing his true love. Why is this watch so expensive? Does it have something magical? One night, there is a feather of a falcon falling down in an institute. That leads to a fire in this institute. Accidentally, a paralyzed man wakes up from his 26 years in coma. A key falls on the floor from his hand. People come to clean up the hospital after the fire. They throw the key to a trash cabinet and bring it to another place to handle. Coincidentally, it is picked up by the trash collector. Then it falls on the ground of the collecting center. A woman's shoes have a gum stuck on, and the key sticks to it, then falls in front of a watch store. The key is then picked up by the main character, and it is put on a table inside the shop. He is Manny, a watchmaker. He has a mysterious box with a symbol that synchronizes with the one on the key. He carefully checks the key, and finally uses it to open the box. And there is a watch inside, but it is not working. At this time, his mother tells him to switch off the electricity. He is electrocuted, and the watch is fortunately charged. He puts it on his wrist, and surprisingly it fits him well. He touches it, and the clock goes back to 5 minutes ago. Such a miracle scene. The time goes back 5 minutes. That is why he knows the power of his watch. Whenever he changes the time, all other clocks change too. He can even make the time move faster. And especially he can make the world stop. Everything will stay still. But the stopping period is just 30 seconds. Right after that, a gorgeous woman comes to his store to get her watch fixed. Her name is Sophia. He loves her at the first sight, and uses his watch to impress her. He punctures her tire, and changes the score of the match just to make her smile. In other scene, the paralyzed man is Manny's uncle, his father's twin, because 26 years ago, Manny's father, Sturman, tried to invent a watch with which a person can travel back and forth in time for a maximum of 24 hours. But all the experiments failed. But one day, a falcon feather fell into the chemical container, and made the experiment success, created a time-reversible watch. His brother discovered it, and tried to steal the valuable asset. Sturman acknowledged the situation, and hid the watch under his child's cradle. The cruel man could not find it anywhere. He angrily killed Manny's mother, but right before that time, his mother inadvertently spilled chemical liquid on the floor, and it caused a big fire in the room. Sturman took that chance, and brought his son out through a tunnel. His brother did not give up. He aggressively chased Manny's father. Sturman jumped on a running train, tried to escape, but his brother followed and killed him. When he opened the box, it was empty. It turned out that before Manny's father died, he gave Manny and the watch to a woman, and told her to save his son. The box rang a counting sound. The uncle thought it was a bomb and jumped out of the train. He was seriously injured after that attempt to escape. After he wakes up, he thinks that he could change the history if he travels to the 26 years ago. Then he comes back to Sturman's lab, but there is nothing but silence and dirt. He cannot create a watch that can reserve the time, so he issues an advertisement offering 50 million rupees to the one who finds the watch. Manny's best friend reads the ads, and he encourages Manny to create a fake watch to earn the award. Manny also wants to know the secret behind this watch, so he decides to do it with his buddy. They go to a big building. Manny tells his friend to stay in line. He stops the time by the watch and sneakily gets inside the director's room to find out the truth. Suddenly, he hears someone coming, but right now, the watch is out of battery. He has to hide himself under a desk, but the phone rings, so that he begins to run away after being found. He defeats many security guys, but eventually he is shot by a gun. His uncle gets the watch right after killing Manny, but after using it, he realizes that it just turns the time back to 24 hours and cannot reverse 26 years back. Due to it, Manny comes back to live, but he finds out that the watch is on his left hand. He travels back to the previous night, and tries to reveal the things. He secretly follows a man to a house, and he sees his father, but all these things are his uncle's intentions. The uncle predicts this and manages to fool Manny, pretending that he is Manny's father, because he knows that only Manny can upgrade the watch and turn the time back to 26 years ago. After finding his father, Manny decides to follow Sophia. He pretends to be his father, comes to Sophia's house to chat with her parents, but his uncle's subordinate sees Manny and thinks that Manny is his boss. He tells Manny everything about their plans, although Manny thinks that he knew the plan, but everything turns out to be his uncle's trap. That man deliberately mistakes Manny for his boss, and tells Manny that his father is about to die to make him believe it. Manny quickly upgrades the watch so that his father can travel to any moment he wants, but when Manny hands over the watch, he immediately changes his face. He admits he is not Manny's dad, he is his uncle instead, but no one knows that all these things are Manny's plan. He saw a photo of his father and realized that one of his father's hands had 6 fingers, so he soon discovered that the man was not his father, and the watch Manny gave was not the real one. Manny's intention is to let him tell the time when the tragedy happened. Manny uses the original watch to travel back in time to 1990, and the uncle accompanies him by touching the real watch in use. When returning the past, Manny becomes a baby. His father realizes the watch on his baby's hand. He quickly figures out that his son comes from the future after checking the time on the watch, and the tragedy is about to come soon. His brother appears and tries to steal the watch. Sturman wants to use the watch to change the time, but it is out of battery again, so he is caught by his twin. When his brother is killing him, an eagle comes up. Sturman touches the electric wire, and the watch is charged. It changes their positions, and finishes the life of the devil brother. Manny's parents bring him onto a train. Accidentally, Manny meets his adoptive mother. They decide to go to her hometown, and live happily ever after. If you had a magical watch that can reverse the time, what would you do? Try to win the lottery or try to become a superhero? But I think you would use it to chase your loved one, for sure.